It's been too long. Hi again, everybody. Cowberzak here, back with you again for about 2 weeks off, but I'm back and better than ever. Real live from Progressive Field, where the Cleveland Indians, my hometown team, will open up the 2016 MLB season on Tuesday against the Boston Red Sox with a score of losing 6-2. And then on Wednesday, it came back to win 7-6. We'll get to those games momentarily, but first we have to talk about what's going on, what happened Monday night in the college basketball national championship game. Wow, if you're watching it, you probably have the same reaction as I do. It came down, not kidding you, to the last two shots. First, it was Marcus Page and the North Carolina Tar Heels down 74-71 with 10 seconds left, and Marcus Page makes an incredible shot, off balance and everything. Literally, it just looked like he tossed it up there and made it to make it 74-74. And then with 6 seconds left, the Villanova Wildcats come down the court and hit a buzzer beater to win the national championship 77-74. And that's Philadelphia's, and I should say Villanova's first championship in quite a while. And I have to be dancing still after that game on Monday. What a game it was. Congrats to the Villanova Wildcats. Now switching my gears, like I said, it was baseball. As I said, the Cleveland Indians started on Tuesday. They played the Boston Red Sox as they were postponed on Monday because of the weather, so they moved it one day over to Tuesday. As it did not look too good, a promising start. Corey Kluber gave up a two-run homer to Mookie Betts, and that wouldn't hold up as the Indians called right back to make it a 2-2 ball game. And then by a final score of 6-2, the Red Sox won Tuesday's affair. But then last night, or I should say Wednesday night, pardon me, the Red Sox took on the Indians again back in Cleveland, where the Indians revenged and got the 7-6 win, as it was an all-out effort. As Indians, every time they came down or gave up a lead, they kept fighting back, and that's what we need this year. Cleveland fans, we need a team like that to compete. We got the Cavs to compete. That hopefully we get 2 out of 3 teams to compete. Now we just need the Browns. But hey, Indians 1-1 on the season. They are tied for second in the American League Central Division. Let's talk about those divisions a little bit. We'll start with the AL Centrals I just pulled out, as I believe that the Kansas City Royals, again, going to be up there after a sluggish 1-1 start. It's okay. Hey, everyone's rusty in the month of April, right? I think it could be the Royals. Could be the Royals, could be the White Sox. Tyler Naquin, he's been up and down. He was like I said, Francisco Lindor from last year, who everyone kept talking about. He's gonna be a promising young star down the road and in the future for this ball team, or maybe down the road for another team if we somehow get rid of him, which I hope we don't. And I predict for the AL Central, I want the Indians to win, but I think Kansas City or Chicago is going to do it this year to win it. They both have star-powered teams, but which one, when they meet up, it's been one of the best series to watch the whole season when those two meet up for 19 times. So they're not going to forget one another down the road. So we're going to be excited for that as well. So let's talk about the AL East, as the Boston Red Sox are in the AL East, along with the Yankees, Orioles, and the Tampa Bay Rays, and the defending AL East champions, Toronto Blue Jays, as it's been one heck of a ride for them as Toronto Blue Jays. As remember last year, they had that special season going all the way to the ALCS, where they lost to the World Series champions Kansas City Royals in 6 games. And I think this team still got everything in place to win a title. They got all their team back, besides one addition, David Price, who is now in the Boston Red Sox. But I think Blue Jays are going to be right there. Yankees, maybe not, maybe so. They have those, depends what kind of year they have. I believe the Red Sox can be, if they played the way they did on Tuesday, they can be. And the Orioles, the way they're facing the surprising Twins from last year. Twins are now 0-2, and the Orioles took care of the Twins these past 2 days and have beaten the Twins. So I think the Orioles could be right up there. But I do think the come out of the top will be the Blue Jays, because no one's going to be able to stop that 3-4-5, or it should be 2-3-4, Donaldson, Batista, and Edwin and Encarnacion, where those three, as soon as you get through the lineup, the first batter, you guys just better be aware. They got 3 stud powers coming to the plate. So I think the Blue Jays will win it there. In the AL West, you got Texas Rangers, Los Angeles Angels, Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners. As I think the two teams that will compete will be the Texas Rangers and the LA Angels. Both got great teams, but I think the and the Houston Astros. But I think the Houston Astros will be the team to beat in the AL West this year. Them or Texas, because remember it came down to them. It came down to them last year in the last series of the year, but the Rangers were able to pull it out, but were stopped short in the first round as they lost to the Kansas City Royals to move on. And the Astros were in the playoffs last year for the first time in quite a while as they were in the wild card, beat the Yankees in the wild card Tuesday night, as it was one of the great sights to see the Houston National fan base getting behind their crowd supporting their team, as it was a beauty of a game to watch. And I still think Houston's going to come out top in the AL West because they're still going to be the team to beat, and there's no way with that lineup like the Blue Jays. But they're a very young Astro team, and the Blue Jays, they're getting up there, so they're getting into their prime. But the Astros have some years left. I think they can make a run as like the Blue Jays as well. Now we move on to the NL's three divisions: NL Central, NL East, and NL West. Start with the Central. Who's going to be there again? The Cubs, the Pirates, and the Cardinals, who didn't have a strong showing over the past couple of days, losing to the Pirates in 3 straight games. And that's got to be hurt in the division as you're facing a division team the first 3 games of the season, and that doesn't work the first 3 games. You got to be ready for every game, every pitch, because it could come down to tiebreaker, like it happened a couple years ago where the tiebreaker of the game got into the playoffs. So we hope it. But I think the Cubs, like I said, 3 teams right now: Astros, Blue Jays, and Cubs. As they will be a team to beat in the NL Central. If they win, I think the Cubs, instead of getting the wild card, they could win their division before the Cardinals and Pirates do. But I think if the Cubs do make it to the wild card, the Pirates do win it again, and the Cardinals do get left out with the Cincinnati Reds. Now in the NL East, you got the defending NL champions, the Mets, the Marlins. You got the Braves, and you got the many teams in that could also pull it out. But the Marlins and Braves, I think, have no chance of winning this year. It's just not one of those years again. You just gotta hope for the best, and it's just not gonna work. But I think the Mets come out on top with this and take the NL East division. In the NL West, you got the Dodgers, the Padres, you got the Giants, and you got Arizona. They started off a little hot, but they're not going to make it. Padres, same, they're not going to be contending in like in a month. But I think it's going to come down to the Dodgers or the Giants again. Giants, they've had the even years where they won the World Series, so this is an even year, so anything could happen. And those Dodgers, who came up victorious, is still undefeated on this very young season. So it's going to be one heck of a baseball season to go, and I think the Dodgers come out of the West to win that. But I think the wild card could be the Cubs and the Giants, or Pirates and Giants. NL Central team will be in the wild card, just depending who. In the AL wild card, if the Indians don't make the playoffs, they're either losing the wild card or they're winning the wild card. And I don't think they have a chance for the division. They could, but it's going to be probably the Indians, and I would say the Boston Red Sox, or maybe one of those surprising teams as the Yankees or the Rays again to make it to the wild card. Well, that's all I have. Thank you for joining us. Next week we preview the NHL playoffs starting next Wednesday.